Hello my lovely Padawans, and to all of you duelists. Today I will be presenting you with a deck profile of my Krawler deck for April 2018. Unfortunately there aren't very many changes because there hasn't been any support for the Krawlers in the last two sets, meaning Extreme Force and the Millennium in the Duelist Pack Pegasus, but there are things that will be coming, at least moderately soon. So let's get down to the deck profile, starting up with the monster with the monsters in the main deck. Two effect Veilers. Why? Because Veiler is good, and I don't have any money. I have money. I don't have any desire to invest money into an Ash Blossom or two. Two Tindango Angels. Why? Because it works with the field. It works with. It can get you out the Subterror Behemoth Fiendus. It's a Battle Fader and a Monster Reborn. So why the fuck not? Two of the World Legacy World Armor. So this guy is amazing. This is a searcher for all of your cards that have World Legacy in their hand, which means, one, he can search himself, obviously. He can search your field spell, he can search your trap card, and any other card with World Legacy in their hand, in their name, including the upcoming one in Cybernetic Horizon. Two copies of Krawler Dendrite, this is the Foolish Berry of the deck. Three copies of Receptor, this is the Rota of the deck. Three copies of Gliel, this is the Monster Reborn / extra special summon from your hand. Three copies of Krawler Axon, this is the MST of the deck. And three copies of Krawler Spine. And of course, each of these guys, if they are destroyed by an effect while face up, they will special summon two Krawlers with different names from your deck in face down defense position. And we'll go to the spells. One World Legacy Clash. I was super not into this card for a while, but it can do some things like protect your monsters or give you an extra attack boost, I guess, but it's mostly to protect. One Soul Charge, which is useless unless you start with it. One United We Stand for some extra attack, which comes in handy, believe me. One Cosmic Cyclone, one Monster Reborn, one Wormbait, which is from the new set, the Pegasus Duelist Pack. This is the card that I wanted the most from that set. If you control an insect monster, it lets you special summon two Insect Earth level 1 0 attack 0 defense tokens, which is an instantly link fodder. You can either go into one of your Krawler cards, or you can go into Mrs. Radiant or Proxy Dragon or whatever you want, really. Then two copies of Terraforming, obviously, and three copies of World Legacy in Shadow, which is the amazing spell, a field spell that this deck has. It gives you attack defense boost, it gives you extra special summon, and when your flip monster gets destroyed by battle, you send the monster that destroyed it into the grave. Does not target, does not destroy, which is amazing, really. Traps, we have Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force, Double Bottomless. I used to run the Floodgate, but that is, I completely decided that is shit for the main deck, and it went to the side deck for some negation, because I'm poor, I don't have any Solemns, but these do the job. I mean, you can imagine the Dark Bribe is a Solemn Warning, and you can imagine that Recall is Solemn Strike. Of course you're gonna give +1 to your opponent, but you're gonna stop some shit. I mean, come on. And two copies of your World Legacy Pawns, which is gonna flip down and flip up and recycle your monsters. Going to the side deck, where the dankness begins. For the monsters in the side deck, I have 1 Doomdozer, because he's nice and you have a lot of insects anyway, and banishing 2 like mid to late game will not hurt you that much. Lava Golem, because it's pretty much like 2 kaijus in 1. Self-destruct Ant, if you find yourself dueling an opponent that you cannot effectively kill in 1 turn, this guy is going to do an extra 2000 damage to their life points. 1000 when he's flipped, and 1000 when he's destroyed. And 1 Raikou. Why Raikou? Because he's a flipped monster and a level 2, so I can exceed with him, I guess. And also he can destroy any card on the field, you know, of course for the price of milling 3, but Krawler don't care much, because they like having monsters in their graveyard. Yeah. For spells, Mind Control, because you can steal a monster from your opponent's field and link summon with it. I mean, unless that monster is protected from being targeted. Oh boy, is this card good. Quiet Life. I really rarely use this card, but it's not bad. It's an interesting type of floodgate. If you don't know what it does, during either player's turn, if they normal summon, they cannot special summon for that turn, or if they special summon, they cannot normal summon for that turn. So yeah, 1 Mage Power for extra power. 1 Moon Mirror Shield, because that card is a meme in itself. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, that is against back row heavier decks. You can replace some of your other cards and you can get, you know, extra spell and trap removal. 1 Dark Hole, now for traps, Torrential, Floodgate, Dimensional Barrier, and Parallel Port Armor. Why Parallel Port Armor? Well, you can equip it to one of your links. I mean, this deck is a link deck, obviously. You can equip it to a link monster, and it cannot be destroyed by by battle or targeted by card effect. So this is a very, very good way to protect your link card. And it's in the long turn you can banish it and 2 other link monsters in your graveyard and give a bonus attack for that turn to one of your present link monsters. Okay. Now for the for the extra deck, I run 1 the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin. It's a level 2, it's a rank 2, and it is very good. I mean, it can go over. It can just go over very, very many things, and people don't really expect this guy, so he's nice. 1 Binary Sorceress, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Subterror Behemoth Fiendess, because you are playing a flip deck, and she's nice. She can do some crazy stuff, get you out, get bonus, help you get out some more flip monsters on the field. Mrs. Radiant, because with some minor, with some minor exceptions, it's generally an Earth deck, and you can always just worm bait into Mrs. Radiant, which is not bad. And then we have 3 copies of Krawler Synaphysis, then 3 copies of Krawler Neurogos, 3 copies of Krawler Qualiarch, and 1 Decode Talker, just to have anything higher than a Link 3, because unfortunately Crawlers do not have a Link 3 yet. But I am still hopeful. I'm hopeful that someday we shall get something good, something like a stronger boss monster than Qualiarch, because right now this is your boss monster, and it is dependent on how many face-up crawlers you have on the field. 2, if you have 2 or more, they gain attack and defense. If you have 4 or more, they are utopias technically, and if you have 6, they can attack directly. So that's your biggest win condition: a beefed up army of utopias that can attack your opponent directly, and they cannot do anything because they are utopias. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video, my lovely parents. I will see you next time, and hopefully in a couple of months this deck will become more interesting. I mean, this is a pure Krawler build. You can obviously put in some other stuff like Subterrors or Shadows, but those are a bit more expensive than Crawlers. So yeah, may the force be with you always.